Hello and welcome to the bonus activities for for lesson 5. What we're going to be doing today is we are going to be making a teleportation system. So what we're going to do is I'm going to run this, going to show you what it is, and then we're going to break it down and we're going to build it out. So how this works is one of the pads will be working as your teleportation system, and then the other pad is essentially just like a target. It doesn't work the other way. Because we're essentially just, one's teleportation pad, the other is a target. One is acting like a cannon, and then the other is like a big target painted on the wall. That's it. Now, how we're going to be doing this is we're going to be messing around with C-frames. I'm not going to go into that much detail with C-frames because there's a nice little function that's going to do all the hard work for us. There will be a lesson coming about C-frames, moving characters around quite smoothly with that. But today's lesson, we are just focusing on if statements because that is what we're going to be rolling out. So without further ado, what you would need for this is you would need two parts. So we're going to pop them in now. So parts, make sure that's anchored, change the color, and then just copy that or make a new one. And let's grab that over here and just change the color again, just so we know which is which. Bro. Right, now, really important with this, what you're going to have to do is you will have to change the names because we will be using both of these inside the code. So this blue one here, let's call this one finish. So, sorry, can't spell today. And let's call this one start. Just so it's really clear which one we're doing. Now, once you've got that, we'll be adding code only to the start one here. So click on your plus button, add a script, and get rid of hello world. Now, 90% of this code is exactly the same as what we've done for the landmine project. So what we're doing here is we are trying to build out a function that will check if this is humanoid that's touching it, because we only want to send humans, characters. We don't want to send like trees, rocks, and things like that. So have a look at the landmine project because it's 90% the same. We'll be doing this kind of technique in a lot of upcoming projects. So do not copy and paste, build it out yourself, okay? Because yeah, this will really, really help you going into future projects. So what we need to do first is we need to get two variables. So we need our start and we need our finish coming in here. So I'm going to say local, I'm going to call this start, and then we're going to say script.parent. The reason I can do that is because we're typing in this script file and then this is inside our start part here. So I can do script.parent here. But for the finish one, which I will need, finish equals, I need to do workspace dot finish there, like that. The reason why I need to do this is, as you probably know, is I can't do script.parent in here because that will then just get the same information. It'll just get the start properties. So I have to do workspace.finish. Now, what I now need to do is I now need to make my function. So I'm going to say local function, and then I'm going to call this function teleport, like that. So far, so good. Now, before I forget, I always like to connect my function to the part that we're touching. So this is going to activate whenever somebody touches the start part. So I want to say when somebody touches the start part, then I want to connect and activate my teleport function. Well, now, if you remember from the landmine lesson, and please go through that one, what we'll have to do is we have to send our character. So whatever is touching the start part, we're going to save it into a parameter here. And we don't know what this is just yet, so I'm going to call this one other part because we need to check what it is next. So other part, like that. Now, what we now need to do is we now need to get all of the character information because it will probably be your left leg or your right leg that's touching it. the left leg or right leg will be stored in this other part, but there's not a lot that we can do with that. We don't want to teleport the legs away from the body because that will make gameplay quite hard. So we want to save all the information about the character into a variable here. So we want to say local, name the variable character, and we want to say equals other parts dot parent, like that. And that will then get all the information for us. We've done this before in the landmine lesson. Now what we need to do is we need to check to see if there is a humanoid part in this character. If you have not done the landmine lesson yet, we opened up a zombie file and we had a look what's inside it because it's built really similarly to the character file. So we're going to say local, then we're going to call this humanoid because that's what we're looking for. We want to say equals, then go to the character variable that we have, and then we're looking for something using a special function. And the function that we're going to be using is that really long one, and it's called find, capital F, first child, which is, and then parentheses on the end. Find first child, which is what it does is it looks for the first thing inside a part or a model that has a specific name, and then it returns the first thing and saves it into this variable. And the thing that we are looking for here in speech marks is humanoid with a capital F. For more information on the humanoid, please see the previous lesson because we have a look inside the zombie file, so just so you can see what it is. Brilliant. So if it finds humanoid, then there will be something inside this variable. If it does not find humanoid, then this will be empty. So our if statement is just going to be checking to see if there's anything inside humanoid. So we want to say if humanoid, then do something. And what we want to do here is we want to send our character to the same C-frame as the finish here. So what we're going to do is we want to say character, because this is where the information about the C-frame lives. Humanoid has a lot of information, like the health, the size of the character, the damage it can do, all that good stuff. But the character holds all the other information, so we want to use that one here. So character, and then I want to stick a function on the end of this. Now, Lewis recommending a function I've already used, so we don't want that one. But the function I want to use here is a special one for the C-frames, and it is set primary parts C-frame. Like that. Now, what this does is this only works with parts, as it says in the name here, and that's why naming is so important, because you can kind of guess what it does. C-frame is like two words together, so we've got capital C and capital F here. And what it does is whatever you put inside this, this will then send that character or that part to the part that you're putting inside. Now, it only works with parts, so we have a part here that we haven't used yet, and that's our finish, and that's where we're going to be sending our character. So we want to say finish dot C-frame. And now let us test this. So let's play. Right, so that works, but we are pancaked. So what we're now going to do is I'm going to show you what the problem was there and sort of how to sort of fix it and things. So, but the teleport is working, that's the main thing. So we're going to stop this now. We're going to go back into our code, and we're going to add something into the parameters here, into the parentheses. Now, the reason why we were being pancaked here was because the C-frame was exactly the same. So that's why our character was pancaked a little bit. So what we want to do here is we actually want to teleport our character just a tiny bit above the parts that we're putting in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to say times, and then we're going to say, I think it's C-frame Is it set new C-frame? Just let me check that one. I can't remember. C-frame new. There we go. Sorry, a lot of G in there. C-frame dot new. Okay. Now, what this C-frame dot new does is this essentially creates a new C-frame for us. So all we're going to be doing here is, and we can actually see this if we go on the parts. So go down into the properties, go to transformation, and you will see C-frame where you have position. Now, this is the finish one here is essentially where we're going to be sending it. So what we have to do is we don't want anything for the X. We do want something for the Y. So we're going to say +3 here, and then we're going to do 0 here. And then we're going to see what happens. I might need to do a little cheating in a sec, but we'll see what happens here. There we go. Cool. And what that does is that just teleports us ever so slightly above our part, tiny, tiny, tiny bit. And that will then allow this to work. Right, now what we're going to do in the next lesson is we are going to build out a bigger project where we are creating a portal that only works if you have activated certain keystones, which is really good in like maze games. So I will see you in the next one, and see you soon.